Yeah, well, this is Proper Fix Auto Repairs. Just doing a little video on a BMW X3. I have a misfiring, a number 2 cylinder. So the first step I did was run a compression test on the cylinders, so to ensure all the cylinders have strong compression. Because if one of the cylinders do not have enough compression, that cylinder would misfire. So I'm here just checking the compression on the cylinders to see how much PSI inside the cylinders. So this is the cylinder that's misfiring. So after checking the compression, I realized the compression ratio on that cylinder is close to 75 PSI. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to check another cylinder to see if it has the same compression ratio as number 2. So this one is number 2 cylinder, this one is number 1 cylinder, number 3, 4, 5, and it have another one, number 6. So this one is firing properly, so I'm gonna now install back the sparks plug in this one, number 2. I'm gonna install back the sparks plug in this one, and then I'm gonna remove number 1 ignition coil. This is what the sparks plug look like. This is what delivers the current inside the cylinder to create that explosion to fire the vehicle to enable it to start. So that's number 2 cylinder, which is misfiring. Okay, so I installed back the sparks plug in that cylinder. This is the ignition coil. This is what delivers the current towards the sparks plug. I also installed back the coil. So the coil is now installed. Now I'm going to remove number 1 coil. So I'm removing number 1 coil to check the number 1 cylinder with the compression to see how strong this cylinder is. Okay, so I'm installing back the compression tester. You have to ensure that this is locked properly to avoid it from releasing whenever I'm cranking the engine. So now the compression tester is at 0 PSI. So I'm gonna start the vehicle. Just to see how much PSI coming from number 1 cylinder. So number 1 cylinder have 150 PSI. So basically number 2 cylinder is what misfiring because it have a low, it is number 2 cylinder have actually 70, near to 75. That's a bit too low. When the cylinder has less compression, that cylinder would not be able to fire properly. So it all depends on the strong compression for that cylinder to fire properly. So we have an internal problem on number 2 cylinder. So that could cause from a burn valve, a bend valve, broken compression rings. But if it has a broken compression rings, there's a lot of signs that could show. The vehicle might smoke, it might push the oil through the dipstick. So basically it doesn't seem like it have a broken piston rings. So the main thing would cause a issue like this is like a burn valve. The valve have a burn, or the valve is not seated properly. The valve is inside the cylinder head. Yeah. So in a case like this, I will have to remove the cylinder head to see what is really going on underneath the head itself. Are you looking for a mechanic for your vehicle? Well, look no further. Call Proper Fix on this number, 341-9271, or you could WhatsApp me. If I can't fix it, it's beyond repairs. Just call me to get a proper fix today. Well, if you want a proper fix, call me. And if you want your vehicle fixed, call me. If your vehicle giving you too much headache, call me. Thanks for watching Proper Fix Auto Repairs video. Like and share.